I call to order the meeting of the Borough of River Edge Mayor and Council, agenda June 22nd, 2020, a regular meeting, 7 p.m. This is a virtual meeting. I ask for us all to stand for a moment of silence, and I ask Councilwoman Bastide at the end of it to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Councilwoman Bastide.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. All right, statement of compliance with the Open Public Meeting Act. This meeting complies with the Open Public Meeting Act by notification on December 20th of this location, date, time to the Ridgewood News and the Record, and by posting of the same on the municipal bulletin board and the borough website, and filing of notice of the same with the municipal clerk. Because we are virtual and we have some audio issues, I will be doing the roll call. So, Council President Canigo.
Present.
Councilwoman Bastide.
Here.
Councilman Gaudier.
Here.
Councilwoman Kaufman.
Here.
Councilwoman Montesano Cohen.
Here.
Councilwoman Kinsella.
Here.
Let the record also show that our business administrator, Raymond Porio, is present, as well as our borough clerk, Stephanie Evans. We expect soon to be joined by our borough attorney, Thomas Sarlo.
He's here.
Here, Mayor.
Oh, he is here. Thank you,
Yeah.
and attorney. Thank you very much, Mr. Sarlo. So our first order of business is a resolution to go into closed session and exclude the public. Before we ask for a motion in a second, we would like for a second if Councilwoman Kaufman could explain how we're going to do this so the public will know how to rejoin us after we go into closed. And this is also for the record because this will be placed on YouTube, and we want to make sure that the public understands its ability to be a part of our open meeting.
So if everyone can just chat me your phone number, and I will be knocking everyone off who is not supposed to be on for the closed session. And then I will text everyone once we are done with closed session so that you can rejoin. And I'm not sure who these other Stephanie Evans are right now. Exactly. I don't see why, I don't understand why we have more than one Stephanie Evans right now.
You should knock them off.
Okay, will do.
Well, first give them an opportunity to identify themselves
Okay,
and give us a phone number. So if the individuals who are not part of the council or are named professionals would like to send a text message through the chat system to Councilwoman Kaufman, she will then take note of your name and telephone number, and she will alert you to when we return. The question I do have, Councilwoman Kaufman, is will they be able to sign back in once we go into closed session, since they're signing in as Stephanie Evans?
if they go to the regular Zoom information on the website, it should allow them to sign in as an attendee. I don't really know what's going on with this.
Can we have those individuals identify themselves?
I just chatted to them. Hold on. Stephanie Evans and Stephanie Evans, the ones without the video, if you would like to speak and tell us who you are. Otherwise, I'm going to remove you and you can use the website address to dial back in as an attendee. Okay, Perry Florio is one of them, the attorney for Pat Dom. I understand that ordinance 28 is tabled, but I wanted to confirm, says Perry.
20-8 will be tabled by the council. It is something I'm going to request of the council, but of course that is their decision, but that will be the recommendation.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to confirm because we didn't realize that until late in the evening.
Okay.
You're welcome. And we hope to finalize this at the next meeting. And we're in support in general, in principle of this item. And please know we're not tabling it for any other reason, but to afford both sides time to finish the documentation.
Understood, Mayor. As I said, we just didn't realize it had been tabled, so I wanted to get on to make sure that I hadn't misunderstood because I got the information from the administrator secondhand through my associates. So thank you all and have a good evening.
You too. Thank you.
You too.
You too.
So I'm not sure who the other one is. Maybe it's someone related to that.
Could be.
Michelle, I see two people on the phone also.
Yeah, that I
believe.
have covered.
Okay.
All right, well. I guess we can get started.
Okay, then could I have a motion from Council President Kinigo with a second from Councilwoman Kinsella to go into closed session and exclude the public for 20-164, which is 20-6/20-1, personnel matter, separation agreement, police officer Mark DeYoung. So could I have that motion in second?
So moved.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded. All in favor, Councilman Kinigo?
Yes.
Councilwoman Bastide?
Yes.
Councilman Gaudier?
Yes.
Councilwoman Kaufman?
Yes.
Councilwoman Montesano Cohen?
Yes.
Councilwoman Kinsella?
Yes.
Very good. It's been moved and seconded. We are now in closed session.
So
And
one second. So the person who dialed in on 201-543, I will text you when we go back into open session so that you can sign on. And Neil Carroll, I don't have your number, so I'm removing you. Oh,
I think I have Neil's number. I can give it to you.
Okay. Ray, it's telling me that once I remove someone, they're not going to be able to rejoin.
if worse comes to worse, we can all leave and then rejoin. Is that possible?
I suppose so. And we also do not want to record this. Is that correct?
Mayor, why don't you just do, or you could just do this at the end. We could do this at the end. The only action though would be you're coming out of closed session to either approve what you're discussing or not approve what you're discussing in closed session. That'd be the only public action you'd be taking after closed session.
Well, your two attendees are gone right now.
I still think that might be a better idea. Why don't we leave it to the end so that we don't run the risk of blocking the public from being part of the meeting?
Okay. Hopefully they'll be able to get back on. I'm not sure if they will.
You want me to text Neil?
Yes, if you could text Neil and I'll text the others and tell them to come back on. Yes.
Okay, so we're going to take 2 minutes in order for that
Sorry.
process to take place. No, that's okay.
And we still have a Stephanie, an additional Stephanie Evans, so you may.
Yeah,
wanna
who
keep
is that?
too.
I don't,
At this point, they don't need to be removed, so we'll just leave it be.
They're signing in as panelists, Tom, right? So we should remove them and then they can
Yeah.
sign back in as guests through the website. They shouldn't be part of the panel.
I agree with the council president. Why don't we remove them?
really, yeah, okay.
And we have to figure out why they're signing in as such.
Right.
Since a new link is given every time, then that link would have to have been shared for them to be here. So we might need to tighten up that security.
Okay, so hold on one second. I just have to text two
Has
more.
Neil returned?
Dario, you're taking care of that one, right?
I've texted him and I see the little dots, which means either he's read it or he's typing, or I think. But I've texted him. I've let him know to come back.
Quick question, is the chief on for the close?
You broke up.
I said, is going to be on for the,
He's asking, is the chief going to be on for the closed session?
No, he wasn't scheduled to be on because he was in agreement with this proposal. And both the Labor Council, the chief, and myself were all on the same page on this.
Stephanie, there were two people who we bumped off or asked to leave. Neil was one. Has the other one returned?
Yes.
All right.
Okay, Neil and Ayana are back. Oh, so they were able to rejoin. That's funny. Okay. I don't know.
All right. Here we go. Is there, I heard a sound up there, right?
That's the other Stephanie. Whoever that
just
is.
signed in, can you identify yourselves, please?
I just signed in, Lou Grasso. I don't know if that's the one you're talking about.
Yeah, that's you. You're showing up as Stephanie, Lou.
Oh, what would you like me to do?
I'll take care of it.
All right. I think we can proceed. Would you agree, Councilwoman Kaufman?
Yes.
Very good. So we're going to move, without objection, we're going to move item 5, going into closed session to the end of the meeting. We move to item 6, approval of the minutes of the mayor and regular council meeting of June 8th. Could I have Councilman Gaudier move and Councilwoman, no, she's busy, and Councilwoman Montesano Cohen second the approval of the minutes?
so moved.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded. We need a roll call vote for this. Council President Kaniga.
Yes.
Councilwoman Bastide.
Yes.
Councilman Gaudier.
Yes,
Councilwoman Kaufman.
Yes.
Councilwoman Montesano Cohen.
Yes.
Councilwoman Kinsella.
Yes.
Been unanimously approved. We now need to move to item number 7, public comment on any item on the agenda. Could I have a motion from Councilwoman Kinsella, a second from Councilwoman Montesano Cohen, to open to the public any item on the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded. This calls for a roll call. Council President Kaniga.
Yes.
Councilwoman Bastide.
Yes.
Councilman Gaudier.
yes,
Councilwoman Kaufman.
Yes.
Councilwoman Montesano Cohen.
Yes.
Councilwoman Kinsella. We're now
Yes.
open to the public. I switched the meeting over to Councilwoman Kaufman with a reminder that *9 will raise your hand if you're on the phone and allow Councilwoman Kaufman to know that you are looking to speak. If you are by video, there is a hand raised feature that will allow the same thing. Councilwoman Kaufman, you are in charge of the meeting.
So if anyone has a question, either type it in the chat box or raise your hand. I do not see any questions.
Okay, seeing none, we will need a motion from Councilwoman Kaufman and a second from Councilman Gaudier to close to the public on any item on the agenda.
So moved.
second,
This is a roll call. Council President Kaniga.
Yes.
Councilwoman Bastide,
Yes.
Councilman Gaudier,
Yes.
Councilwoman Kaufman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Montesano Cohen,
Yes.
Councilwoman Kinsella.
Yes.
It has been unanimously approved. We return to item number 8, appointments and personnel changes. I'm going to move this as a block, if that's okay with Mr. Sarlo. Is it all right for me to move this as a block?
It is, Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Sarlo. All right, so I'm going to read all 3 appointments and personnel changes and then ask for a motion and a second, and then we'll do a roll call. So item A, salary increase for Daniel Decker, laborer in the Department of Public Works, for a laborer 2, step 3, salary of $46,852 to laborer 2, step 4, $48,082, effective June 23rd, 2020. Item B, salary increase of Christopher Tabor, laborer in the Department of Public Works, from a laborer 2, step 3, salary of $46,852 to a laborer 2, step 4, $48,082, effective July 5th. Salary, item C, salary increase of Anthony Prezio, and I'm not sure I said his name right. I apologize if I said it incorrectly. Laborer in the Department of Public Works, from a laborer 2, step 3, salary of $46,852 to laborer 2, step 4, $48,082, effective June 17, 2020. Okay, so that would be retro, of course. Could I have a motion from Councilwoman Bastide and a second from Council President Canigo?
So moved.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded. Is a roll call vote. Council President Canigo,
Yes.
Councilwoman Bastide,
Yes.
Councilman Gaudier,
Yes.
Councilwoman Kaufman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Montesano Cohen,
Yes.
Councilwoman Kinsella.
Yes.
It has been unanimously approved. Monthly, item number 9, monthly reports. There is 2 monthly reports that are available to the public upon request, Library Board and Land Use Board. Other reports are certainly possible. First reading and ordinance. Ordinance number 20-11. An ordinance of the Borough of River Edge, this is item 10, by the way, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, amending supplemental chapter 400 of the River Edge code entitled Vehicles and Traffics. Could I ask our Borough Administrator, Mr. Porio, to give a brief synopsis to the public regarding this first reading ordinance?
Yes, Mayor, this limits parking in front of 259 Johnson Ave. We received a request through the Traffic and Safety Division of the Police Department and approved through the Chief of Police as well, in order to modify our current parking regulations over in that area.
If I'm not mistaken, Traffic and Safety are, the council members on that are Councilman Canigo and Councilman Gaudier, is that correct?
It's just myself.
It's just yourself.
And
All
just so
right.
you know, Mayor, I did run this through the council president before it was added to the docket, and he approved it as well.
Yes, I saw that through the email chain. All right, then, could I have a motion from Councilman Canigo and a second from Councilwoman Kaufman?
So moved.
Second.
It has been moved in second. The roll call vote is required. This is not open to the public for comment since this is a first reading. Roll call vote. Council President Canigo,
Yes.
Councilwoman Bastide,
Yes.
Councilman Gaudier,
Yes.
Councilwoman Kaufman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Montesano Cohen,
Yes.
Councilwoman Kinsella.
Yes.
Okay, we are at now item number 11. In item number 11, we have 3 ordinances, and I'm going to ask for a motion to table. Now, that motion to table requires a either a date or an event for it to be proper, I believe. So we're going to start with ordinance 20-8. If Mr. Porio could speak to why for the public's edification as well as the council's, why we are tabling 20-8 or requesting to table 20-8.
Sure, Mayor. Sure, Mayor. I've put the detail into the board report that I had sent on to council, the BA's report. However,
Yes.
for the public, we've gone ahead and been in negotiations back and forth with our professional staff, as well as the attorney for this establishment. At the last council meetings, some of the council members raised some concerns with this, and we were looking to try to address the concerns of the mayor and council. I believe that we have come up with what the mayor and council would be satisfied in order to resolve your concerns. However, the applicant needed some more time in order to get some additional documentation that we would need to add into the franchise agreement, and has requested that this be tabled to the next council meeting. So it's a mutual tabling.
Okay,
Or
with
mutual-
that, in,
I should say.
is there any comment before I ask for a motion to table? Is there any comment? Hearing none, could I have a motion to table ordinance 20-8, a franchise ordinance granting permission to Pat Dom LLC and its tenant successors and assignees to make private improvements to and exclusive utilization of a portion of lands within the area of Johnson Avenue public right-of-way located adjacent to 259 Johnson Avenue, River Edge, New Jersey. Could I have Councilman Gaudier move this and Councilwoman Kinsella second?
So moved.
Second.
So this is a motion to table. It's been moved and seconded. It requires a roll call vote. Council President Kanigo.
Yes.
Councilwoman Bastide.
Yes.
Councilman Gaudier.
Yes.
Councilwoman Kaufman.
Yes.
Councilwoman Montesano Cohen.
Yes.
Councilwoman Kinsella.
Yes.
It has been unanimously approved. This item is tabled to our next meeting of the mayor and council. I'm going to skip ordinance 20-9 and move to ordinance 20-10. I'm going to ask for a motion to table for the public's benefit, and simply as a reminder to the council, I'll ask Mr. Porio to explain why we are tabling this second ordinance to the next council meeting.
Yes, I received an email from the borough planner regarding this topic. Typically what happens is that the planning board reviews the master plan for consistency before they go ahead, and such an ordinance could go ahead and be tabled. They're not meeting until July 4th, so the planner has asked us if we could table this to the July 13th council meeting.
Is there any council person who'd like to ask a question or make a comment? Seeing none, I will entertain a motion to table ordinance 20-10, an ordinance to amend and supplement Article 8, conditional uses, planned residential developments of Chapter 416 zoning of the Borough of River Edge, Bergen County, New Jersey, to establish a new bridge road affordable housing AH-1 overlay zone. Could I have a motion to table from Councilwoman Montesano Cohen with a second from Councilwoman Kinsella?
So moved.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded. This requires a roll call vote. Council President Kanigo.
Yes.
Councilwoman Bastide.
Yes.
Councilman Gaudier.
Yes.
Councilwoman Kaufman.
Yes.
Councilwoman Montesano Cohen.
Yes.
Councilwoman Kinsella.
Yes.
It has been unanimously tabled to the next council meeting of the mayor and council. I'm now going to return to ordinance 20-09, an ordinance to create Chapter 50 entitled Affordable Housing Regulations to address the requirements of the Fair Housing Act and the Uniform Housing Affordability Controls, UHAC, regarding compliance with the borough's affordable housing obligations. Could I have a motion from Councilwoman Kaufman and a second from Councilman Gaudier?
So moved.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded for to open to the public. This is a second reading, so we are now going to call the council to open to the public for comment on this ordinance. Councilman Kanigo,
Yes.
Councilwoman Bastide,
Yes.
Councilman Gaudier,
Yes.
Councilwoman Kaufman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Montesano Cohen,
Yes.
Councilwoman Kinsella. We are now
Yes.
open to the public. I will surrender the meeting to Councilwoman Kaufman so that the public may comment if they wish or ask questions.
So any questions, if you dialed in *9, will raise your hand. And you can either raise your hand if you signed on or chat. I do not see any questions.
All right, so now I will need a motion to close to the public so that the council may consider it. Could I have a motion from Councilwoman Bastide and a second from Council President Kanigo?
So moved.
Second.
This requires a roll call to close to the public. Council President Kanigo,
Yes.
Councilwoman Bastide,
Yes.
Councilman Gaudier,
Yes.
Councilwoman Kaufman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Montesano Cohen,
Yes.
Councilwoman Kinsella.
Yes.
We are now closed to the public. We will now consider ordinance 20-09. Could I have a motion to approve from Councilwoman Montesano Cohen and Councilwoman Bastide?
So moved.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded. It's a roll call vote to approve ordinance 20-09 on a second reading. Council President Kanigo,
Yes.
Councilwoman Bastide,
Yes. Yep.
Councilman Gaudier,
Yes.
Councilwoman Kaufman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Montesano Cohen,
Yes.
Councilwoman Kinsella.
Yes.
Very good. That concludes our second reading. Before we move into resolutions by consent, I'd like to make two announcements. One announcement was requested by our BA and our Superintendent of Public Works. From 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. tonight, January 22nd, Bergen County Mosquito Commission will be spraying on Kinderkamack Road, Main Street, and Hackensack Avenue / New Bridge Landing area. We were only informed of this today. There is an opportunity for questions of the Mosquito Commission, but they close at 3:30 and we only were informed today. So that makes the possibility of comment or question of the commission moot. Mr. Porio, is there any comment that you'd like to make or statement?
Mayor, I think the Public Works Director was pretty detailed in his information, as detailed as it could be. We also put a nixle out on it as well today to try to let the public know. I apologize for the late notice, but when we got it, you guys got it.
Okay, so any question or comment from the council? Seeing none. We will be moving the resolutions that are present, but we're also going to be moving a resolution 20-176, which is a separation agreement, settlement, and release. Could I have our borough attorney offer comment on this resolution before we consider it as part of the group to be moved by resolution by consent?
Now, Mayor, this needs to be discussed in closed session.
Oh, that's right.
And
My
then we'll
apologies.
come out and we'll do that. We don't have a resolution, so we're probably going to just do it by a roll call vote to approve it when we
Okay.
come out. But let's talk about it in closed session.
Very good. That was my fault. I was on the old process. It's a new process. Okay, so we have resolutions 20-165 through 20-175. It is our practice to move all except for payment of the bills. So could I have a motion for to move resolutions 20-165 through 20-174 by, let's see, everyone's pretty much done everything equally, so we're back at the list. So by Councilwoman Kinsella and second by Councilwoman Kaufman.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there, and by Robert's rules, is there any debate or discussion or questions before we vote on it? Seeing none, this is a roll call vote. Council President Kanigo.
Yes.
Councilwoman Bastide.
Yes.
Councilman Gaudier.
Yes.
Councilwoman Kaufman.
Yes.
Councilwoman Montesano Cohen.
Yes.
Councilwoman Kinsella.
Yes.
So resolutions 20-165 through 20-174 have you been unanimously approved. I call on our finance chair, Councilwoman Kaufman, to move 20-175 and for her to call upon someone to second.
Borough of River Edge Resolution 20-175, payment of bills at a regular meeting of the mayor and council of the Borough of River Edge, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, held on June 22nd, 2020. Be it resolved that the mayor and council of the Borough of River Edge approve the following expenditures. Current fund account, $236,197.98. Capital fund account, $12,566. Grant fund account, $1,086. Trust other account, $15,112. Open space account, $3,955.16. Payroll account, $1,062.26. Developers account, $3,165. Recreation account, $467.18. I hereby certify that this resolution was adopted at the meeting of the Borough Council of River Edge held on June 22nd, 2020. So moved. Lisa, Councilwoman Cohen, if you could second.
It's been moved and seconded. Roll call vote. Council President Kanigo.
Yes.
Councilwoman Bastide.
Yes.
Councilman Gaudier.
Yes.
Councilwoman Kaufman.
Yes.
Councilwoman Montesano Cohen.
Yes.
Councilwoman Kinsella.
Yes.
All right, we can open to new business at this point. Is there any new business that any member of the council wishes to raise? Is there any old business that any member of the council wishes to raise? Hearing none, I will move to item number 15, public comments. So we're going to open to the public to make any comments on anything that they'd like to do or ask a question. Could I have a motion from Councilwoman Bastide and a second from Council President Kanigo?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call. Council President Kanigo.
Yes.
Councilwoman Bastide.
Yes.
Councilman Gaudier.
Yes.
Councilwoman Kaufman.
Yes.
Councilwoman Montesano Cohen.
Yes.
Councilwoman Kinsella.
Yes.
All right, we're now open to the public. Any member of the public present may ask a question. I'm turning the meeting at this point over to Council President Kaufman. Councilwoman Kaufman.
Once again, if you have a question, just raise your hand or type it in the chat box. And for the person who dialed in, you can just hit *9 and I will call on you. Do not see anyone.
All right then, could I have a motion from Councilman Gaudier and a second from, let's see, Councilwoman Consilla to close to the public?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Council President Kaniga.
Yes.
Councilwoman Bastide.
Yes.
Councilman Gaudier.
Yes.
Councilwoman Kaufman.
Yes.
Councilwoman Monsanto Cohen. We'll come back to her. Councilwoman Consilla.
Yes.
Is Councilwoman Monsanto Coughlin still with us?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, very good. Okay, so we are now closed to the public. We will do council comments after we go into closed session. So could I have a motion from Council President Canigo and a second from Councilwoman Montesano Cohen to go into closed session, item number 20-164, resolution to go into closed session and exclude the public for a closed docket, closed session docket number 20-6/20-1, personnel matter separation agreement. Police Officer Mark DeYoung.
So moved.
So for the attendees, I will be removing you in a second.
I just need Councilwoman Monsanto Cohen to second.
She's having
Second.
connection. Okay.
No, it's okay. We don't mind waiting. Okay, so it's been moved and seconded. Council President Canigo.
Yes.
Councilwoman Bastide.
Yes.
Councilman Gaudier.
Yes.
Councilwoman Kaufman.
Yes.
Councilwoman Monsanto Cohen.
Yes.
Councilwoman Kinsella.
Yes.
Please wait until Councilwoman Kaufman informs us that we are closed.
So hold on one second.
Yes.
So Tom Sarlo, I am supposed to not be recording this. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, so I'm gonna,
Turns the recording button back on and text those who have left that they may return.
Dario, if you want to just text Neil again.
Okay.
So I texted everyone so they can dial back in should they wish to.
All right, let's give them 30 more seconds.
Sure.
So if the public is watching this on YouTube, you might want to advance 30 seconds.
Lou's back.
Okay. All right. It appears that we've waited long enough. We are in open session. We have only council comments and adjournment. Let's begin with Councilwoman Kinsella. Councilwoman Kinsella, do you have any comments for this evening?
Yes.
Yeah, Mayor,
on.
we need to publicly come out and what we did in closed session, we need
Yes.
to do it in public.
My pardon. Okay, so we are out of closed session, and before we go to council comments, we need to vote on an item that we discussed. So I'd like a motion and a second, a motion from Councilman Bastide and a second from Councilman Gaudier to accept the separation, settlement and agreement and release of police officer Mark D. Young. Is that correct, Mr. Soller? Did I phrase it correctly?
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Very good. So if we could have that motion in second.
So moved.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded. It's a roll call vote. Council President Canigo.
Yes.
Councilwoman Bastide.
Yes.
Councilman Gaudier.
Yes.
Councilwoman Kaufman.
Yes.
Councilwoman Montesano Cohen.
Yes.
Councilwoman Kinsella.
Yes.
So this has been approved. We are now at comments of the council. Councilwoman Kinsella.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. First, I hope everyone had a wonderful Father's Day. Second, I apologize, this should have been under old business, Mayor, but I just wanted to address the census. The mailers should be going out hopefully this week to all the residents, and we currently have an 81% response rate, which is not a lot from a couple of weeks ago, but hopefully these mailers will get to those who haven't had a chance to respond. That's it.
Excellent. What was the percent again?
81% currently.
Okay. That's wonderful. You're doing a great job with that, Councilwoman. We appreciate you taking the lead.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Councilwoman Montesano Cohen.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I think everybody has been aware that the library is offering curbside as of next Wednesday, which is great news. I know a lot of people have been looking forward to that. So to the public that is listening, there's a lot of information on their website as to the processes that they're following, but this is as of next Wednesday, June 24th. And I wanted to thank all the residents that have participated in the Trees Please campaign for the Shade Tree Commission. It has been a success. They have had to replenish the seats multiple times in the 3 spots where they are available. So it has been a very, very excellent success. And I just wanted to make a remark that as the shelter-in-place restrictions continue to be lifted, I think it's upon us to use good judgment as we follow social distancing to avoid a spike in the summer and hopefully early in the fall. Thank you.
I agree. Councilwoman Kaufman.
Thank you again to all of our first responders and essential workers, and quick healing to anyone who is ill right now with COVID. Also did go to get some seedlings. So thank you, Shade Tree and Lisa, for that. That's great. We just planted our new trees. And then also just wanted to mention that on July 13th, there will be a website open courtesy of Bergen County, where they are going to be offering up to $10,000 in mortgage, rent, and utility relief for any business that was deemed non-essential and has been unable to open until now. That's it for me. Happy Father's Day, too.
That's wonderful. That's really wonderful. Councilman Gaudier.
I would like to echo Councilwoman Kaufman's comments, and would also like to thank Councilwoman Kinsella for her excellent work with the census. Thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome. Councilwoman Bastide.
I have no comments tonight. Thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome. Councilman Canigo.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Councilwoman Kinsella, for your work on the census. River Edge, if you haven't responded yet, please do. It's going to help us down the line, grants and everything, so please do so. Terrific news about the library. Thank you to everybody on Shade Tree who distributed the seedlings. My property is not big enough for another tree, but I love watching them go up in River Edge. And of course, as always, thank you to all first responders and essentials. Please continue to wear your masks. They do work and they do help reduce the spread. And as we come up on 4th of July, happy 4th of July to everybody. I don't believe we're going to see each other beforehand, right? No. Yeah. So happy 4th of July, everybody. And again, we all like to party on 4th of July, but let's try to be careful and use our best judgments with keeping in mind everything that's going on. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
You're welcome. I just like to concur with what everyone has said. I agree 100%. I'd like to also offer thanks and congratulations to Mr. Porio and Mr. Costa for doing a phenomenal job with our paving and curbside, the administration and engineering side of that. The roads look great. The curbside looks good. It's not 100% complete, I don't believe. I think Reservoir has some work to finish, but even the striping is done in most areas. Mr. Porio, I'd like to give you an opportunity to make any comment or thank anyone. Oh, and of course, our superintendent, congratulations, thanks to him for his cooperation and support in this matter, our superintendent of public works, Jason Melito. Mr. Porio, is there anything you'd like to offer in that regard?
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you for the compliment. There's an aggressive schedule that we put forth on all of our capital projects, whether it was from doing the majority of resolutions at the last council meeting to the road work. The paving, the end product came out to be, I think, something that everyone seems to be very happy with. Reservoir has almost been completed. I do think there are some administrative things that we need to work out collectively as a town, but as the mayor will certainly agree, being part of those conversations the past week, many of them. But overall, I think the end product was something that was very beneficial to the residents of the town, and I think the co-op program works well for us. Thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome. The last thing I want to say before we sign off tonight is that restrictive parking has been reaffirmed, that any sort of timed no parking zones are back in effect. I know that several nixles went out. I put it on the Mayor of River Edge page. Hopefully it's on the borough webpage. I believe it is. If not, we'll correct that. There may have also been a reverse 911. So I want the residents to be aware that now that we're out of phase 1 and we're into phase 2, and we're at this point that parking in no parking zones or in no parking at certain time zones is no longer permitted or will be allowed. And so we don't want anyone to get any tickets. So if people can be mindful of that and remind their neighbors too. Also, I'd like to just remind the public that we do have garbage collection twice a week, and that will continue throughout the summer. And I'd also like to give a shout out to our rec commission. I know that Carolyn Balzdanza, I always say her name slightly wrong, I apologize, is doing a phenomenal job under really rather difficult circumstances with all the changing executive orders and guidance, to do her best to help to provide for our summer programs to whatever degree. And we're doing a virtual program. And I invite Councilwoman Bastide, if she wishes, just to make a comment about that. If she doesn't, that's also fine.
I just echo what you've said. She's done a really great job being flexible and pivoting based on the guidance that she's getting. And residents, if they're interested in learning more about the virtual rec camp and the in-person pop-up sessions, just visit, contact Carolyn Baldanza at cbaldanza@riveredgenj.org. Thanks, Mayor.
You're welcome. You're welcome. All right, everyone. May I have a motion to close to the public and a second? Could I have a motion from Councilwoman Kinsella and a second from Council President Kanigo?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any abstentions? Any noes? All right, everyone. Thank you. This is the close of the meeting. And a special thanks to Councilwoman Kaufman for all the behind the scenes and online work she does to keep us open to the public. We appreciate that. Great job, Michelle. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Have a good night,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Good night, everybody.
Everyone.
Right.